Hello everyone, welcome to the Indian Polity Multiple Choice Question Series. This is the 23rd video in this series in which we will be discussing 10 multiple choice questions on the topic Panchayati Raj Institutions or 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act. So if you have not seen the other videos, do check them out on our YouTube channel. After every question, I will be taking a pause of 3 to 4 seconds. Try to solve the question yourself, and at the end of the video, do mention your scores in the comment section. Let us start. The first question is, what was the mandate of the Ashok Mehta Committee? The options are A. To examine the working of the Community Development Program and the National Extension Service. B. To assess the administrative arrangement for rural development and poverty alleviation. C. To revive and strengthen the declining Panchayati Raj system. Or D. To revitalize Panchayati Raj institutions for democracy and development. The correct answer is C. To revive and strengthen the declining Panchayati Raj system. So all other three mandates or guidelines were also for various other committees like the Balwant Mehta Committee, the L.M. Singhvi Committee and the G.V.K. Rao Committee. Second question, which committee recommended that the Panchayati Raj institutions should be constitutionally recognized? Options are A. Balwant Mehta Committee, B. L.M. Singhvi Committee, C. G.V.K. Rao Committee or D. Ashok Mehta Committee. The answer is B. L.M. Singhvi Committee. So out of all these committees, this was the committee that actually recommended that Panchayati Raj institutions should be granted constitutional status so that they can function properly. And in pursuance of the recommendations of this particular committee, the government passed the 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act. Third question, which schedule was added to the Constitution by the 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act? The options are A. Schedule 9, B. Schedule 10, C. Schedule 11 or D. Schedule 12. Correct answer is C. Schedule 11. So this amendment added Schedule 11 to the Constitution, which has 29 subjects or 29 various topics that are to be taken care of by the panchayats. So these subjects include like the agriculture and extension services, rural roads, water development, irrigation, village fairs, etc. So these 29 subjects are under the jurisdiction of the panchayats and they have to take care of these subjects. Fourth question, which article of the Constitution of India directs the state to take steps to organize village panchayats? The options are A. Article 38, B. Article 40, C. Article 45 or D. Article 27. The answer is B. Article 40. So this article falls under Part 4 of the Constitution that talks about the directive principles of state policy. So at the time of independence, the founding fathers of the Constitution kept this provision under the directive part, which was not enforceable, because at that time maintaining the unity of the country was more important than granting constitutional status to these little republics. So fearing more segregation in the country, at that time constitutional status was not provided to village panchayats. So at that time this provision was under the directive part under Article 40. Question number 5. As per the provisions of the 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act, what is the extent of reservation provided to scheduled castes and scheduled tribes? The options are A. 1/3, B. 1/4, C. as decided by the legislature or D. in proportion of their population. The correct answer is D. in proportion of their population. So the seats for scheduled castes and scheduled tribes are reserved in the Panchayati Raj bodies in proportion of their population, whereas 1/3 of the seats are reserved for women and the seats for other backward classes are to be decided by the legislature. Sixth question, which of the following is not a function provided by the Constitution to the Panchayati Raj institutions? So as we discussed just now, there are 29 subjects that come under the ambit of the panchayats. So which of the following subjects is not one of those 29 subjects under the 11th schedule of the constitution? The options are A. Minor forest produce, B. Rural housing, C. Technical training and vocational education, or D. Transportation services. The answer is D. Transportation services. So since they are panchayats are not interested with taking care of the transportation services in the rural areas. All other three are subjects that fall under the jurisdiction of the panchayats. Seventh question. Which of the following is not a mandatory provision for states under the 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act? So under the Act, there are two types of provisions which every state has to follow. One are the mandatory provisions, which are mandatory for every state to follow, and other are some voluntary provisions which states may or may not implement based upon their own discretion. So which of the following is not a mandatory provision and is a voluntary provision? The options are A. Reservation for other backward classes, B. Organization of Gram Sabha, C. Establishment of State Finance Commission, or D. Reservation for women. The answer is A. Reservation for other backward classes. So it is not mandatory for the states to provide reservation to OBCs, and it is the will of the state legislature. They may or may not provide reservation to the OBCs. However, it is mandatory for the states to provide reservation to women. It is mandatory for the states to establish State Finance Commission and to organize Gram Sabha as well. Eighth question. Who has the discretion to direct that the provisions of the 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act shall apply to the Union Territories? The options are A. Parliament of India, B. President of India, C. Governor or Administrator of Union Territory, or D. Supreme Court of India. The correct answer is B. President of India. So the President may direct that the provisions of the 73rd Amendment shall apply to the Union Territories. Ninth question. Which of the following states is not entirely exempted from the 73rd Amendment Act? Options are A. Manipur, B. Nagaland, C. Meghalaya, or D. Mizoram. The answer is A. Manipur. So Manipur is not entirely exempted from the application of this act, but Nagaland, Meghalaya and Mizoram are exempted. Since these states have very high tribal population, they have their own mechanisms for democracy at the grassroots level. Therefore, the 73rd Constitutional Amendment does not apply to these states. Last question. Which was the first state of India to implement the Panchayati Raj system? The options are A. Andhra Pradesh, B. Uttar Pradesh, C. Rajasthan, or D. Kerala. The correct answer is C. Rajasthan. So, since the amendment was passed in the year 1992 and became effective in 1993, this was done at a national level. However, the states could pass their own acts even before this particular amendment came into force. And in pursuance to that, Rajasthan passed their own amendment in 1950s. Therefore, it became the first state to implement the Panchayati Raj system, and it was only 40 years later that this system got formalized in a nationwide law or constitutional amendment. So thank you everyone. I hope you liked these questions. Do comment your scores in the comment section. Thank you for watching.